Welcome back to part 3 on inverse functions. Let's look at the definition for a one-to-one function. From there, let's look at what it's not. The definition says, let f be a one-to-one function with domain A and range B. If this is true, then its inverse function, f inverse, has domain B and range A, and is defined as f inverse of y equals x. This implies that f of x equals y for any y in B. What this is saying is the x and the y trade places. Note that an f inverse does not mean 1 over x. This is a common error, and I know that an exponent will mean that you can put the function in the denominator. But if that was the case, the way it would be written is like this: f of x all raised to the negative 1. That would give you 1 over f of x. Notice this is not the same location for the negative 1, and therefore it does not flip the f of x into the denominator. So given these new rules where we swap x and y, let's look at example 3a. T inverse of 6 means that we're looking for what T inverse of 6 equals, so we have to look at what T of something gives us 6. And we can see that T of 3 gives us 6, which means that the inverse of that is 3. Remember, we're swapping the x's and y's, so now we're looking for T inverse of negative 5. That means we're looking at any rules that give us an output of negative 5, which means that we have T inverse of negative 5 equal to 2. T inverse of 7 means we're looking for an output of 7, which means T inverse of 7 is equal to negative 4. Because we were given a list of rules for the actual function. T of 3 equals 6, T of 2 equals negative 5, and T of negative 4 equals 7. Let's look at the steps to find inverses of a one-to-one function. Step 1, substitute f of x with y. Step 2, interchange x and y. Step 3, if possible, solve this equation for y in terms of x. Step 4, write y equals f inverse of x. And it's a really good time to just memorize this, because this is going to be something you're going to need to do in logarithms and exponential functions section. And so if you memorize this now, it's going to help you a ton later in the quarter.